Here at the DreamHack Pro Circuit, day number 3, we have gotten our first North American versus European matchup, and G2 remain strong here, continuing on the hopes of North America. But in our next series, again, we're going to decipher if that is going to be the case when we get to our finals here, as it is going to be GC Aura taking on that of NRG. And there's a lot of hope here sitting behind NRG. I am your host, Wade Dreadnought Penfold, and up here at the desk, we thought we needed to mix things up a little bit. Maybe Turtle's advice a bit too dated here.
Ouch.
So with me at the desk, I've got myself a Gibbs and Dude with the Nose. Dude with the Nose, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I've been all right. I'm talking about some Rocket League, so that's always a great time here. But specifically, you have gone to play here, even at this event. So I just wanted to get some of your thoughts maybe on, your time here at DreamHack Montreal.
Yeah, it was fun. Games could have went a bit better, but that's just how it goes sometimes. We were a kind of a last-minute addition to the DreamHack tournament, since Renegades unfortunately could not make it to Montreal. But
so what was that like? Like 3 days before, you're like, oh, now I'm playing a DreamHack.
Yeah, it was a little bit rushed, trying to find an Airbnb to stay at, trying to find train tickets and stuff like that. But it was worth it all in the end.
Well, we're glad that you're here, and especially joining us here up at the desk. And so I want to just get, from your perspective, maybe some thoughts over that last series there, G2 and Dignitas. Was it what you expected? Was there the highs and the lows here from your standpoint?
I mean, we saw Twitch chat's prediction, 92% in favor of G2. And how could you ever doubt Twitch chat? Honestly, easy for NA. That's all I got to say.
Hashtag no bias.
No bias at all to Twitch chat. Like, he's the one always in Twitch chat, too, so he knows how it is over there.
He's one of us here, yeah. type situation. But again, the series that we are now going to be focusing on, it is with our potential dark horse, a mixed match. It is not still the same tale of Echo Zulu, but they maybe have more potential to go farther than what we got of Echo Zulu with that of GC Aura.
They're actually a lower seed than Echo Zulu. So Echo Zulu was a 22nd seed, GC Aura a 23rd seed. So like just one better Echo Zulu, but these guys are a really strong team. Obviously a lot of Rival Series experience, plus RLCS experience. And it's just magic right now, 4-0 so far.
Yeah, they've been having a really good run. Unfortunately, I think this is where it ends, honestly.
Why is that?
Oof. Truly, when you compare the top RLCS teams like NRG, Vitality, Dig, and you compare them to the more middling RLRS teams like Baguette Squad and Method, which is where Ocelon and Extra were last season, the biggest difference you see is the discipline. Garrett G is probably one of the most disciplined players in NA. When he's last back, he never dives. He never puts his teammates in a bad spot. And with the RLRS, you see a lot more optimistic plays, let's say. And it ends up leading to a lot of free goals.
So my one counter argument for that is, well, they're 4-0, and they took down 4 teams that are in the RLCS.
That's fair. That's fair. But NRG coming off a hot Summit win. I know you're making fun of the rubber duck.
Hey, no.
I got to correct
it was still
you.
a solid result.
This is the finest wooden mallard that they won. You cannot doubt that victory. I don't think they're going much further. I think NRG stops them here.
All right.
I like it. I like the confidence coming out with Dude with the Nose. But I think it's a fair point that you're posing there. The amount of control and discipline, as you put it there, that we've gotten from NRG, it's why they are the terror known as NRG. But the hopefuls on the other side, it's GC Aura.
So I'm just going to go over their results real quick. A 3-0 sweep over Complexity, a Game 5 win over TSM, a Game 5 win over TSM, a Game 5 win over Mouse Sports, a reverse sweep. All the pressure on them, 3 Game 5 wins. That is huge for these boys, that they're going up against the teams that are supposed to deal with this pressure so well, but GC Aura, they keep coming out on top.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they've had a really impressive run. I don't want to deny that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I just think NRG is such a higher caliber than Complexity, than Mouse. And I think NRG has what it takes to stop them.
On the note of discipline here, this is a young man that I would like to talk about, what you highlighted earlier. Because if we go back and look at his moments of day number 1, I would argue discipline was something that was a bit missing. A couple of moments. Clearly, they had a bit of breathing room at those moments, so maybe why Justin was able to kind of push his bounds a little bit farther. But is that maybe a concern over that discipline? Is there an area where Justin maybe struggles to have that due to his maturity here?
Yeah, I'd say Justin probably the least disciplined player on the team, but that's not necessarily an issue. Like, you watch Cloud9, you don't want to put a leash on Gimmick. The guy's an absolute animal.
Yeah.
I think the same goes for Justin.
Okay.
Makes sense.
It's removing the creativity of the player.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's fair.
And then we talk about discipline, and like obviously Garrett G, but then it's like, all right, who do we replace Fireburner with? Well, like I thought there was no great option in North America, like unless they went to another Big 3 squad. So they go over to Europe and pick up Turbo Pulsa. Like obviously he's got all the discipline in the world.
Yeah. No, he's a fantastic replacement for Fire. You know, if we're looking at NA, maybe the only replacement for Fire is like Torment from C9.
Yeah.
But if you go to Europe, Turbo is just the perfect replacement. He's got the decision-making, the mechanics. It's just a perfect fit, I think.
The one thing that has always blown my mind when it comes to Turbo Pulsa is just how the adaptability, I think, is something that a lot of people attribute to players like Farah, right? Where it's kind of the gauge your opponent and respond accordingly. But it almost feels like Turbo can do that not only for his opponents, but his team very, very well. Corrupted Gabe is another guy that I think we complement with his allies. He just does what the roster needs. But for how good he is and how much credit goes to him and how he just fits in all the time, it actually blows my mind. Like, how do you do that? Like, can you do that, dude, with the nose? I need help.
No, it's very impressive, honestly. Not too many people can fill in for a roster like that. It takes a lot.
Plus, we saw it in the Season 4 and Season 5 World Championship. Like, Turbo was the one who would change up their playstyle based on who they played, and he was just so good at everything. Like, that's the problem with Turbo. It's like, throw him wherever you want, he will succeed.
Yeah, they managed to find a way to figure it out here. But now we need to figure out what our thoughts are. And I hate to do this to you, dude, with the nose, but we're actually going to just lead off with you. The pressure point between GC Aura here and NRG. Who do you think has it? And at least 1 to 2 lines here backing it up.
Easy 3-0 sweep for NRG. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be a stomp. Garrett G, too smart. He's not going to fall for the ball chasing of GC Aura. It's a clean sweep.
We really need to get some Europeans on this, Des. I feel bad. I feel bad right now. I'm also going to go NRG. I just think this is where it ends for the Dark Horse. It's NRG. Sure, they want a rubber duck, but I still think they are a great team, and I do think that they can make a run here. I'm going NRG.
Look, last time I stuck with the underdog-ish situation and I went to Europe, but I do think this gap is a bit farther than our last series, and I also sit with NRG. I think GC Aura has a lot to prove. Mainly, I keep getting stuck on the 10-minute overtime with TSM and the lack of passing, and then I think of NRG, and I go, they will handle that. There is very few moments that is going to be able to thrive, and I think they've got it.
They just have to show up more than when they played Mouse Wars. I felt like that series was a rough one for NRG from all 3 players. They looked a little bit lost on the field. Maybe that was a bit of Mouse, but I do think that was more on the side of NRG, just not playing up to par.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Mouse have been they've been having a great run, no denying that. And I think NRG, if they pull it together, it's going to be easy victory.
I'm excited. I'm just ready for this thing to get underway here. I do believe, actually, taking a minute to appreciate you guys at home, 65 to 35%. And now, considering we just came off of a 92-8 with some of the bigger names, like, what is happening here? The fact that GC Aura is able to pull 35, but you looked at Dignitas and said 8.
I mean, hello? You're pulling for that underdog, but now it's NRG with Turbo Pulsa. Like, people are going to be voting for them pretty hard.
All right, well, let's figure out if GC Aura has what it takes to take down the powerhouse of North America in NRG. We send it over to the casting crew. It's Johnny Boy and Shogun.
Yeah, if only you did have any representation, I don't know where we're going to find them at all.
No, we're not seeing anybody around the place.
Nah, not at all. And I tell you what, though, do you know what we didn't see at all? We didn't see any team play from NRG when they did take on Mouse. And if that is the NRG that shows up today, that is the sort of NRG that GC Aura could potentially beat. Any other NRG, though, means it's going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, everything needs to go right for GC Aura to have a chance here. You know, I completely agree with the desk. NRG, if they just play their game, they will win. It doesn't matter what GC Aura shows up. If NRG can play as well as we know they can, they will win because they're the better team, and they're the better team by a fair margin. However, if NRG start to get nervous, if they don't play close to their best, and GC Aura play a blinder, we might be in for an interesting series here.
Now, I did run into Justin backstage before we got started with this series, and
that was careless of you. Where you're going.
Thanks a lot there, Johnny. I may have heard the most pointless sentence from him I've ever heard in my entire life. Justin decided to turn around to me and say, he's in a slump.
He's in a slump. Get
Woe is me, Justin.
Enough with your slumps, buddy. Okay? So Justin's probably going to play really well today. He's probably going to score multiple goals, get a couple of pre-jump saves, and then come off the stage and say, yeah, I wish I could play better. I'm not playing very well.
But for this team that you see on their screen, I don't think they came over here expecting this. As we did mention, this team was seeded lower than Team Echo-Zulu, but Johnny, I would like to put to you that this is a team that is better than Team Echo-Zulu. If anything, that seeding just proves how stacked this tournament has been.
This is by far a more stacked tournament than the DreamHack at the start of the year. We've obviously had 4 now, and this is, I think, the deepest talent pool that we've seen. But GC Aura have come out on top of that talent pool, and they've actually got a preferential seeding into today. You might look at this matchup and think, well, GC Aura probably scraped through, NRG must have breezed it. No, it was NRG who fought in today, number 3, through the lower bracket after falling 3-0 to Mouse. GC Aura have not lost a series this whole tournament. They've looked incredible.
We've not seen a team that has not been involved in the RLCS make it to top 4 just yet this year. Can GC Aura be the first team to do it, and do it on the back of the new North American super team? It would be something amazing to behold, but let's see what surprises they've got in store for us. It's GC Aura, it's NRG, and it's game number 1.
Big game for GC Aura, a must-win game, you feel, if they're going to have a chance here. Extra off the wall for the first opportunity, but his reset shut down before it could even land.
It's going to be all about GC Aura getting momentum to start with and maintaining it. NRG, so experienced at tough situations. There's Turbo Pulse looking for the setup. Gray able to get rid, but GC Aura have also proven themselves capable of handling the big pressure situations as that. Oh, what a slump, Justin. Yeah, I'm sure about it.
Yeah, I really need to see Justin stepping up here. This just isn't good enough. Come on. Like, easy shots like this, of course, we expect him to be scoring. I would love to see him, you know, maybe freestyling into that, make it difficult, double touch perhaps. He's clearly in a slump, Shogun.
I feel like the spies would be a harsh word, but I feel something close to it. That was a ridiculous goal to be scoring in the opening minute, and GC Aura have just been informed of what they are up against. They are up against what many people believe to be the favorites in the next RLCS season, the winners of Beyond the Summit. Well, this might be a good opportunity. Garrett G, though, pushes it away.
You know, just that one goal has now got me scared for not just GC Aura, but G2, who are already waiting in the semi-finals, because that is exactly why we've been calling NRG the best team in the world in the run-up to this tournament. See, this weekend didn't go quite so cleanly for them up until now, but the double dominus so far from Garrett and Justin is working absolutely perfectly.
NRG have just got so much space to work with right now, and GC Aura don't know how to shut them down. They need to position a little bit better with the person that's not necessarily challenging, but the person that's supposed to react to that challenge. They're sort of committing to plays far too early, and when it doesn't go the way they expect it to, they're getting caught out.
Nice little half volley there by Extra, but Justin collects it in the midfield without too much difficulty. There's Turbo for 3-0. GC Aura are getting outclassed, just as the desk predicted.
And a reminder that if NRG do win this series and move on, we will be guaranteed at that point one North American representative in our grand finals.
I mean, I've been saying G2, they're my pick to win the whole event since before day 2 started. NRG, suddenly, they are showing us a whole new team compared to what we saw yesterday. We've seen that in the past. This is like how Rhino Vitality won their RLCS Season 7 World Championship. They just played the best on the final day. How PSG won DreamHack Valencia. They were the best team on the final day. They might not have been the best team before the final day, but this is the only day that matters now.
Yeah, days 1 and 2 do not win a championship. It is all up to today. It's all about winning 3 series in a row.
Looks like Justin's still in a slump. To let you guys know, we'll be updating you on that throughout this series.
I'm fairly certain his title updates you.
It's true. Now that he's self-deprecating, it's probably made him feel more comfortable.
I'm just hoping that at no point it reminds Turbo Pulse to change his name back to, what was it, Taruru?
Oh,
he held it back as for ages.
I'm a big fan of the Turbo Pulse name. But
could you imagine a major situation and having to scream aloud Taruru?
I've heard. I mean, I'm not planning to do that, but I have heard it be attempted. to relative success.
Hats off to whoever managed that. Although will clear. So far for NRG, this has just been a very by-the-numbers victory. 3 early goals. GC Aura have had no response. I think this was actually somewhat expected in game number 1. For GC Aura, they are the team that hasn't been at this level before. I think we might see them bounce back a little bit better in games number 2.
Well, we'll see. I wouldn't be so sure. NRG scoring goals the way they are. I don't think GC Aura are used to that caliber of shooting that which we saw from Justin. And you know, the fact that the GC Aura boys have beaten 4 RLCS teams, well 3, they beat TSM twice. They've won against RLCS EU teams 4 times in this tournament. I don't think that really helps them against NRG because none of TSM, Mouse, or Complexity play like NRG do.
Certainly not. NRG have just dominated from bell to bell so far. It has been 4 minutes of agony for the guys on GC Aura. Double commit means that is the end of the offensive play, and so far that has been the story. As soon as you make one mistake against NRG, that is your hopes of scoring a goal completely dashed. There's going to be another one on target, and again, this time Tigray able to get himself back, but the person that is supposed to be holding back the line has been a little bit happy to press forward.
Yeah, DCR, I mean, you can forgive them for conceding that first goal, which they did let in. Justin's insane redirect, but since then, they've been unable to match NRG's pace. They're getting caught out of position as a result. They're trying to cheat forward and make up for the difference in speed that seems to be present by being a little bit closer to the ball to begin with. And that's leaving spaces for NRG to exploit behind them.
30 seconds left now. GC Aura probably should be looking at this game as an extended break to really talk through what they want to do. This has been a real sucker punch. This should be number 5, and it will be. Race for Garrett G. And for as good as NRG have been, GC Aura will be pretty disappointed with this performance.
Yeah, no, if this is the first you've seen of GC Aura, you missed them earlier in the tournament, then you're not getting a good preview of what we saw previously. They played some great Rocket League to take down you know, every team in their path up until now. But it seems like NRG's early lead is completely taking the wind out of them. And they're starting to drop off. You know, he said that they need to play well and NRG probably need to play worse than what we're used to seeing from them for GCR to have a chance. At the moment, it's the opposite that's happening.
Well, Johnny, you were involved in the Flipside Tactics org that really popped off as Ocelon does get a consolation goal. But you were part of the Flipside Tactics org back in Season 2 that had one of the best Day 3 showings we've ever seen before. In your words, how does Day 3 change compared to every other day in a tournament? Because it seems right now GC Aura are finding that difference very difficult to cope with.
It's just a reset, really, especially in this format, because everybody who's arrived in Day 3 for DreamHack Montreal, they're in the same single elimination bracket. They all start in the quarterfinals. There's no advantages. There's no upper bracket placement. There's no buys. So you have to just reset and start again from scratch. And right now, it looks like GC Aura have just come out really slow, but I'm looking forward to seeing this goal one more time. Justin, straight up the sidewall and close to ceiling height, catches extra off the goal line. Now, there's no respect there from extra and Justin. Oh my goodness, he surprises himself, but I'm not surprised that he surprised himself after he does a shot like that.
They are one of the more emotive teams out there right now. Justin and Turboforcer especially. They do wear their emotions on their sleeves.
Well, more than anybody else, Justin will just be wide-eyed at what he's doing because he
always seems shocked by his own abilities.
He must be. I mean, imagine being Justin. Just think for a minute that you are Justin and you score a goal like that. Like, how else are you supposed to react? I would be surprised. The fact that it's possible to consistently play this well.
So for GC Aura, it was a poor start for them. We're going to go into game number 2, and we're going to need this opening minute to go much more efficiently than the last one did. Ocelon forces a challenge, and Extra finds himself too far forward, a little bit further back. Might be able to force a slightly better play for his team. NRG do clear the lines, but There's a little bit of mechanics from GCR. Have they been caught out here? No, off the post. Follow-up shot is in. And once again, it's Justin to open up his account.
That's just too risky for Musselon. He's not goal side on the ball, so he gets slammed in the challenge. And he's left extra with no option in goal this time. Last time the opening goal was definitely a bit of Extra's fault as he was caught out of the goal and not able to react to Justin's brilliance. But this time, Musselon is playing way too greedy. But check out Garrett's aerial shot as well. 2-0 NRG continue to clap.
And it looks incredibly similar to the game number 1 as well. Just so much space for NRG to work with, and they're making the shots count. GC Aura just seem rocked.
Yeah, I mean, this was a difficult ball to play for Tigray, who's trying to come out of goal. I think Extra needed to ball chase, and I would love to have seen GC Aura come out of the gates in this series and just park the bus, first of all. Just never let NRG have a clear sight on goal. Always try to get their cars between the ball and their own goal. And then maybe they can frustrate NRG into misplaying, or at least dropping off a little bit, because so far it doesn't seem like NRG are going to slow down at all.
The backboard, Ossalon. I think it's something going here. 2 goals is not necessarily a death blow for GCR. They've got the 2v1, and that needed to be played so much better, especially from Ossalon of all people.
He just couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do. He started to carry the ball in towards the middle. I think, okay, is he going to pass that? But no, he wanted to shoot. And the setup didn't really lead into a shot particularly well. Like you say, that was really promising for Ossalon. He caught the ball really well, and ended up squandering the best opportunity that GCR have had.
Same way as seeing Astral up in the air looking for a double tap. If you see someone in a 1v1 situation on this team, it was always going to be Ossalon that you want on it.
There was no confidence, really, the way he's approaching the goal. Slow, methodical, no real conviction with what he's, plan for what to do. That is not acceptable if you're GCR. You need to play aggressive, you need to play consistent, or you will continue to lose. NRG still looking very comfortable. Tigray with lean whip here. That is unforgivable.
So 3 goals to the better. NRG continue to stomp 8-1 now in the overall goals scored, and GCR's goal was in garbage time. At least it was a 0-second goal, so he can take that. Teleporter does say prevents it from going up to 2. For Tigray, will he get here in time? A couple of extra steps added in by NRG. Wanted to try and make it 4 goals to nothing. But for GC Aura, this has not been their best showing. Got into this stage after a 10-minute overtime. But haven't been able to make this major opportunity count for them just yet.
And you have to feel sorry for them, ever so slightly at least, because NRG are playing very well. There are few openings being given to GC Aura to utilize, and the shots that NRG have been putting on have been world class. Now that's better. GC Aura with a goal that may matter. Great placement from Tigray, but Extra doesn't take the applaud here, because that pass gave Tigray the option to shoot left, right, up, down, anywhere he wanted. They do get on the board with over 2 minutes remaining in game 2.
Well, there's a sort of goal as well from GC Aura that if they are to make a comeback here, they're going to score a lot of goals looking very similar to that one. Ossalon off the backboard. Much more positive so far by the Europeans. But they are a team that can play incredibly quickly at times. They've got parts of their roster that are very good at controlling the ball, but when Justin can read the plays like that, it's going to be very difficult to get past him.
And Justin with a brilliant approach. Extra was first to the ball, but hit it the wrong way. Those clears straight down the middle are never going to be a good idea against NRG. I mean, even if Justin isn't in the air for this to score immediately, someone else will be on the ground about to shoot, because that angle to clear the ball in is not a good idea.
Turbo. The last person back was Extra. He did get enough time for his teammates to move into position. For NRG, they have scored 5 goals in 1 game, 4 goals in the second. Oh, to try and grab their 5th with 90 seconds left. Extra forced to try and push this away. Garrett can't quite read it, and I think we heard Dude with the Nose actually talk about the difference in discipline from these two teams, and I believe we have seen it quite often here, where GC Aura's main problems have come from the fact that they leave one person back against one or two NRG defender or offensive players.
Yeah, they've been caught out of position, caught too far forward numerous times. Maybe a lack of trust in each other, maybe a lack of experience is the cause for that. But the one thing that GCR will be most disappointed about is that the mechanics have let them down. That's something that you would have expected them to at least be able to bring into day 3, even if they're outclassed strategically and mentally. Mechanically, they've been holding their own against every team they've run into. It has not been the case against NRG, who look in a completely different league.
T-Gray tries to take the ball past one player and hope for a block on Garrett. Ocelot has dropped it. He ran out of boost. There's the 5th goal. And a scoreline that looks all so familiar.
And that is just a good explanation of what has happened this series. Oh, that just looks so helpless for Ocelot. He's barely not able to reach the ball.
And a smiles on the faces on GCR at the very least.
Yeah, it's certainly a comical goal to concede, and this game was already all but over with NRG ahead by 3 goals even before that 5th one went in. This is going to be an incredibly difficult position for GC Aura to be in. If they come back and win this series, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to say, because they are looking like they have no chance at all after 2 games.
It would be the most miraculous upset in Rocket League history.
It actually would. I mean, we've said this quite a lot, because there have been
situation and the context.
Oh yeah, this
so
one
much harder.
I think this probably would be. I don't know if there's been a bigger upset than GCR winning this series. I don't think that we even need to discuss it any further, because it's probably not going to happen. It's NRG 3-0 incoming, perhaps.
Just want to see GC Aura play their game. It's not like they haven't had time on the ball. They've got a little bit of it. But every single time they play the ball right now, it's like they're trying to get the ball past the first player challenging them with no intent of playing the ball afterwards. It's just handing the ball back down to the orange side of the field.
Yeah, it was careless dribbling. Ocelot's dribbling, especially this game, will be something he's disappointed with. The first goal was conceded after Ocelot just got outplayed. Extra here just running away from the ball, and that forces T-Gray to come in instead of, like, Extra could just play that rebound just like Garrett did. I don't know why he's decided to leave it and go for boost in the corner. But it's little plays like that. They need to be challenging the ball with someone who isn't their goalkeeper. Send anyone else except your goalie to the ball, and then Extra can sit in the net, maybe, and make the saves like he did yesterday.
Well, the opening minute of all of these games so far have been heavily NRG. And they've pretty much finished off the job within that opening minute every single game so far. Will they do it here in game 3? Or can GC Aura show off what got them to the dance? Turbo Pulsar with a shot, but T-Gray with an important save at that.
Still more chances for NRG. Justin's going to let that one go. He didn't want to run into a 50-50. GC Aura are challenging the ball as fast as they can. See if they can now clear it as well. This time Ocelot doesn't get dunked on. That's a change up from last game. He just pushes the ball into a 50-50. See, the result is a lot better than just conceding immediately.
Maybe turned up. Turbo Pulsar will get a little bit of distance on this, and now it's time for Justin. What another block shot.
Just want to see GC Aura ball chase for 5 minutes here. That is, I think, their best shot at winning. Just catch NRG off guard. Some good old brainless 0 IQ gameplay. Maybe even -5 IQ would be a good option. NRG are keeping the ball in the blue half fairly consistently, but not being rewarded.
No, if we do want to see them go over to the ball chasing style of gameplay, they do need the boost for it as well. As we can see on Extra, he's got absolutely none of it.
He's fine. Look, he's got 100. All good. Prime
like
ball chasing material. This is a better start. The best start that GC Aura have had. If they can do something with this, then there will be a glimmer of hope. That's all. NRG circling the edge of the box. 3 sharks. They can smell blood in the water. GC Aura trying desperately to escape from their own half.
Nice block there. From Turbo over to Garrett. Takes his time, and another challenge taken by Garrett. NRG happy to engage in a lot more of a blocking style of play, but Garrett is on low boost here. He's going to struggle to make anything happen. It's the reason why Turbo was brought into this team. It was to hold those rotations and keep that pressure going, and then he can set up Justin.
GC Aura, 2 players committing to the same ball, and Ocelon's actually centered it for Justin as well. So multiple misplays. They were able to hold their own for almost half the game. But once again, the difference in quality is plain to see.
It's going to be Justin now. Taking over, he's got time, he's got space, he's got boost. Can he take it all the way? Gets a block, an extra. Takes away any danger that was lingering, and Tigre's actually downfield. It's the furthest we've seen any blue player in this entire game. Half this game left to play. GC Aura have got all of the odds stacked against them.
Yeah, they need to maybe start passing the ball. There was the option for Ocelon to pass on his last attempt. He just took a shot that's very likely going to be saved by NRG, and it was saved. But a moment of opportunity for GC Aura. Will there be another? Trying their best here. This is kind of what I expected the game to look like. Not a complete blowout, but you know, just an advantage for NRG. Well, GC Aura playing their best, but will NRG let up? It doesn't look likely. Pre-flip from Garrett. 2-0 NRG.
Like a one-hit knockout from Garrett G.
Oh my word.
Phenomenal by the North American. And NRG have made this look like an exhibition. This does not look like a top 8 match right now.
You know, Garrett might be a Dominus main. That's something I've never seen from him in the Octane. Pre-flip and a little bit of a flip cancel as well, just to hold his car in the right position. Not only did he hit that ball, he aimed it.
Gonna be Garrett once again. Trying to take that form that he picked up from that previous goal and multiply it. Passing play. Can't quite be shut down. That's on target, and Tigre has just about thread the needle.
Based on the fact that Turbo Pulsar is currently laughing, I wouldn't be surprised if he's own goal this. Yes, he has. He's just hit that right into his own
Turbo
net.
Pulsar special has to happen every single Sunday.
So, 1-goal game. GC Aura have got a real shot here. Looks like NRG, after that goal from Garrett, are starting to just have a bit of fun with this one. We saw an intentional double commit to the same aerial by Turbo, and I believe it was Garrett, and then Turbo's own goal. So
the own goal
this
from
is
Turbo
the chance.
usually results in a Turbo Pulsar hat trick.
Well, yeah, it will, but which net though? This could be the chance, because we're wondering when are NRG going to let up. Well, that was it. For a moment, they've taken their focus away from winning this series, and just instead trying to have as much fun as possible. So GC Aura, 53 seconds to try and exploit that potential weakness for NRG. They're having too much fun.
Now Ocelon tries to put it behind Justin. Gets the car behind the ball nice and quickly off the backboard. Going for the bread and butter of Rocket League. Tigre. Out to Ocelon. Ocelon back to Tigre. Up the wall. Off to Ocelon again. They keep handling this between the two players. This might be a shootable opportunity, but Turbo Pulsar takes it. He takes it quickly, and kind of surprisingly, nobody for GC Aura really went.
Justin, he wanted a ceiling pinch, but he'll have to settle for a simple shot. Will do though. 2-1 lead. Still making NRG look very, very good on the day. GC Aura, this is their last chance. They've had the best tournament for an underdog team out of all the DreamHacks this year, but is this where it ends?
Justin trying to get this ball down. Ocelon though will clear. From as far as Turbo, and Justin will look to try and finish it off. It is over. The Cinderella story has come to a close. GC Aura are out, and NRG stroll into our semi-finals.
They've saved the best till the last day. The double Dominus lineup looking absolutely unreal for NRG. Even with a cheeky Turbo own goal, they still cruise past GC Aura into the semi-final. And if G2 were watching that, they must be pretty worried about that matchup. I'm sure they're excited for it, as we all are. That will be coming up later today. More quarterfinal action before that, though. Cloud9 versus Vitality and Mouse against the Peeps. Before we get into that, we'll be going to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be over with the analyst desk.